You don't need thousands of dollars to day trade in the futures market. And you definitely don't need $25,000 in your brokerage account like you do for stocks. In fact, I was able to turn just a few $100s into tens of thousands of dollars using a prop firm account. I was able to scale into full-size futures contracts with almost zero personal risk. These firms are funding traders worldwide, and the industry is growing exponentially, fostering competition between firms, which is creating a lot of great options for traders like us. You pass their evaluation, and then they give you capital, and you keep the profits. However, there is a caveat. Most traders blow the accounts before they ever get paid. So here's how to do it right. I'll walk you through the top firms, the evaluation process, and how to trade them correctly, and how to actually get to payouts. Now let's jump in. My name is Chris Drysdale, founder of the Drysdale Trading Group. We are a full-time futures day trading organization where I day trade futures live each and every trading day in my Discord, trading the VWAP Wave system strategy. All right, so we're going to be talking a little about getting started with futures prop firms in this video today, and why to start with a prop firm. All right, first of all, you don't need $25,000 to day trade futures. Now, this is mostly for our United States viewers. All right, in the United States, you need $25,000 in a margin account to be able to consistently and take multiple day trades every trading day. Okay, you could get by with less in a cash account, but then you can't reuse the money each day. And in a margin account, if you have less than $25,000, you're only able to trade 3 day trades over a 5-day course. All right, so you're really limited in how active you can be unless you have that 25K. All right, but the big reason is to avoid risking your own capital. All right, you're able to trade full-size contracts with real buying power with a prop firm. All right, the beauty of this is you're going to have built-in risk management to help you learn faster and with less stress. All right, when I got started in day trading, guys, we didn't have prop firms like this. All right, we actually had to come up with our risk capital. So if you did trade with a prop firm, you still had to come up with $5,000 to $10,000. And if you lost money, that came out of your starting capital. Okay, if you're starting a cash account, that's all your money on the line while you're learning. Now, I know everybody comes into the market thinking they're going to get rich overnight and how easy it is. You're going to eventually find out that that is not the case. All right. So the beautiful thing that prop firms have brought to the trading industry is the ability to lower your costs and preserve capital while you learn how to trade consistently and effectively without losing lots of money. Okay. That is the main benefit of trading with a prop firm. So let's talk about the differences between trading a prop firm and a cash account. Okay, with a prop firm, you're only going to need $100 to $300 for the evaluation fee and an activation fee, roughly in this area. Okay, you could even get by with a little lower. With a cash account, you're going to need at least $5,000 or more, all right, to be able to trade effectively, because you need room for drawdown. You're not going to win every trade, and especially if you're learning, you're probably going to burn through some money taking stupid mistakes. You're not a professional. You're not an expert yet. You can make the decision today to learn to play the piano. If you've never played the piano, you're going to not be very good for a long time. You could buy a really nice piano. You can hire yourself a top piano teacher, but you're still not going to be able to play the piano very well until you practice consistently over a long period of time. Trading is no different. Okay, so this is going to help you preserve your capital and stay in the game while you learn. All right, let's talk about drawdown risk. All right, your drawdown, you're only limited to what you paid for the evaluation or the activation fee. Okay, so if you only paid $50 for the evaluation, that's your max risk on that account. Okay, now you could still blow the account and buy another one and blow it and buy another one. All right, so that's a serious problem that we need to talk about. However, you're not going to be able to lose $5,000 in 15 minutes like you can in a cash account. All right, very different. All right, there is somewhat of a checks and balances to slow you down from that type of loss. All right, you're going to be dealing with defined limits of what you can do in this prop firm account that are enforced. Okay, your max drawdown may be $2,000 in this evaluation. Once it's hit, it's game over. All right, with your cash account, you can tell yourself you're willing to lose 2,000 of the $5,000, but guess what? Nobody's going to stop you from keeping trading and losing the rest. Okay, so with a cash account, it's your money, your downside. You can risk all of your money or even more. Okay. So with scaling opportunities at the prop firm, you're going to have the ability to trail your stop outs and get payouts and build up your capital over time. All right. So as you build up a cushion in your funded accounts, you'll be able to take bigger size and bigger losses to be able to scale accordingly. All right. You can take bigger risks to take bigger trades. In your cash account, you're always going to be limited by your own capital. And lastly, with psychology, with a prop firm, all right, this is going to train discipline under pressure without the fear of loss. All right, you're still going to have rules. You need to be disciplined to obey by those rules. So there will be pressure, all right, but not the fear of risk. All right, in a cash account, your psychology is often to over risk, size up to hit the money you want to make, or if you took a loss, to size up to make that money back because you're devastated how much money you lost. All right, let's say you just started trading. You came in with big eyes wide open, thinking you're going to get rich, and you lose $5,000 on your first day. All right. Most traders in that situation are going to aggressively start trading to hopefully get that money back. They can't believe what they did and make it worse. All right. That type of psychology is so dangerous to a new trader. All right. So with a prop firm, that is all mitigated. All right. Let's talk about the step-by-step prop firm journey. Okay. So you're going to choose your plan. All right. So an example of that is a 50 or 100 or 150K account. All right. With top step. All right. This is what it looks like. All right. 50K costs you $49 with $150 activation. Should you pass? 100K. All right, you're going to have $99 it costs, and with 150K, it's $149. All right, so you'll have different price targets accordingly. With the 50K, you only need to make $3,000. You're able to trade 5 contracts, which is way too much, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. And your maximum loss is $2,000. So if you hit $2,000 in losses, all right, you lose. All right, you blew the account. All right, so your goal is to hit $3,000 in profit without drawing down $2,000. Okay, and then according, you have much more drawdown room in the 150K. You have $4,500 in drawdown, all right, but you have a much bigger price target. Okay. Once you pass the evaluation, all right, you hit the profit target without violating any of the rules. All right, there might be a consistency rule, like you can't have more than your 50% of your profits be in one day. All right, so if your target is $3,000, each day needs to be less than $1,500 in profits. That's called the consistency rule. Other firms have different rules. I'm not going to break down each firm with their different rules in this video. All right, it's up to you to do your research and talk in the Discord, and you can make a decision from there. Okay, once you get funded, you pass the evaluation. You are now a funded trader, and you're able to make money in that account. Okay, now there's new rules. All right, there might be scaling rules where you can only trade 2 contracts until you hit a certain threshold of profit. Then you can trade 3 contracts and then 4. Okay, and then once you reach a level of profits in that account, you can get paid. All right, you got to meet the payout criteria. For example, with Top Step, you only need 5 trading days of $200 or more, and then you can withdraw 50% of the balance. The reason it's 50% is because you need to leave your drawdown in there. Right? If you take it all out, there's no money to lose, therefore you're closing the account. Okay, so, and again, each firm has its own rules. All right, we're not going to break that down side by side in this video, and especially since they're always changing. Okay, so it's up to you to do your research, jump into the Discord, we'll discuss prop firms and see which one makes the most sense for you. So here are some really popular firms. Top Step, there are the original futures prop firm. All right, they've been around for a long time. Excellent management, very professional, very user-friendly platform with Top Step X. Very effective, easy rules, nothing complicated. These guys are awesome. Highly recommended. I use them myself. All right, I have 5 funded 150K accounts with Top Step currently. Earn to Trade, great on education. They have a Gauntlet Mini, which is a smaller trading account. Lilu offers great payouts. Popular Professionals. We have Top Step Trader that's not on here. Take Profit Trader. That's also a good one. Apex Trader Funding, huge discounts. You get really cheap evaluation, so you can buy, 5, 10, 15, 20 of these things. But their payout rules have gotten very tough over the last year. All right, so I don't trade with Apex anymore for that reason, but you might like them just to practice with and what have you. Others to the industry are My Funded Futures, Top One, Tradeify. There's just so many guys. So, it's really important to do your research and, that this is always an ongoing conversation. This stuff is changing month to month. So I don't want to get too deep into comparing them with their rules and stuff like this in this video. There are YouTubers that literally focus just on the rules and what's happening in this industry. So how to trade a prop account properly. Okay, so we talked a little earlier in this video about how some people blow their accounts before they ever get paid. Okay, and they'll actually blow account after account. Okay, that's what we want to avoid here at all costs. All right, you don't want to just chase the target. We need to trade like we're already funded. That comes from the evaluation all the way through payout. All right, very important. You need to respect your max drawdown, break down your risk management per a risk management plan. Respect daily loss limits that are much smaller than the max you can lose in the account. Right? So if your max loss drawdown to blow the account is $2,000, your daily loss limit should probably be $500 or less. You want to focus on consistency, right? Base hits, not home runs. You want to use defined setups, all right, like what I offer in the VWAP Wave system, and strict risk per trade. All right, so if my max loss for the day is $500, I don't want to risk all of that in my one trade. All right, I want to be able to take multiple trades. So maybe it's $100 loss per trade trading micros. All right, so it all has to be scaled. You can't go for max loss in every trade. That's how guys blow account after account. It's like a gambling mentality. All right, it all has to be scaled accordingly. And I go through this in detail in my VWAP Wave risk management guide. It's also in the course. All right, you still want to journal every trade like it's your real cash account. You're getting better, you're practicing. And prop firms are looking for discipline. They want to see consistency. They don't want to see people who are throwing all of their leverage into a big trade, every trade, and risking the whole account. That's not what they're looking for. Okay? They want risk managers. They want people following a system and consistency with defined setups and a plan, all of which we offer in the VWAP Wave system. It's perfect for prop firms. So what happens when you pass, all right, and getting payouts? Most firms have a scaling period, okay? That'll allow you to get up to max size. With the payouts, Top Step offers you a withdrawal after 5 days and five winning days. It doesn't have to be in a row. Apex has a minimum number of days, for example, and you hit a percentage of your payout. So they're all different. All right, they'll offer payouts via check, ACH, PayPal, Wire. All right, if you're in the United States, you'll have to do a 1099. You get paid as a independent contractor. If you're outside the country, some countries aren't supported. I think South Africa is one of them that's not supported by a lot of these prop firms. But if you're international, you're obviously not going to have to pay United States taxes. So you'll be paid as an international client, and they'll send your money through a international payment gateway. So from a funded trader to consistent withdrawals, all right, you're going to want to use a system like the tools we use in the VWAP Wave system, the initial balance, the VWAP bands. Okay, you want to use setups that you can name, all right, not just randomly clicking buttons. If you can't name the setup, it's not a trade. Trade like every day is day one. Avoid revenge trading, all right? If you took a max loss yesterday, you're not trying to make it all back and then some today. Okay, every day is a blank slate, and we treat every day the same. Don't max out your contracts. This is a trap. They'll give you 5 contracts in a 50K account. All right, don't take that bait. Okay, in a 50K account, you should be using 1 mini, otherwise micros. probably just a few micros depending on which contract, all right? The over leverage they give you is a trap to get you to blow the account. They're looking for smart risk managers, and they expect you, the successful ones, to not take that bait. It's very important. This has been divulged by insiders of the industry, and they do it on purpose. If you pass fast, take it slow afterwards, you want to keep that account alive. This is a marathon, not a sprint. All right. Now, every tick matters in futures. All right. We use tick-based markets, so there's precise entries. All right. I want to make sure that you're journaling your trades, keeping track of your metrics for your prop firm evaluation tracking. Okay. And want to get funded fast and keep the account alive? All right. Make sure to download my VWAP Wave course setup guide. It's absolutely free. It's in the description below. Join my free Discord. All right, where we provide daily education and funded trader support. All right, everything you need to trade a prop firm successfully. All right, we have a lot of prop firm traders in the group, many of which are getting consistent payouts. And we'll help you pick the right prop firm for your goals. So make sure to find us in the link below, get the guide, join our Discord. Let's begin the conversation of how you can successfully become a prop firm trader and get regular payouts. All right. Again, check that link in the description below. All right, traders, have manage your risk out there. Stay sharp. Reach out to me in the Discord, and looking forward to trading with you guys. See you in the Discord.